recording. All right. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to this month PowerShell meeting, and today we're gonna have something very interesting. We're gonna talk about the essentials of error trapping. So I have a couple examples, and we're going to discuss also how to build your own exit codes if you need them at one point in time. And I will explain eventually the reason for all this thing. But of course, you can trap errors going on in PowerShell commandlets as well as the whole process that you're running. And I will explain that for very good samples here that I got. So that you know. This is my list of activities.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can make this full screen.
Yeah.
Because I get only a small screen.
Okay, yeah, make sure. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I'm just displaying my list of activities between, including today's meeting and next month, which is going to be a little bit busy. And of course, haven't included the June PowerShell meeting, which, I always build up materials and everything. And maybe this time on the next one, I'm going to build something with Azure SQL databases. And of course, as I forgot to mention, my dogs are the natural alarm in my house. So everybody passing in front of the house, they're going to bark. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I can't stop. Hold on a second. Hey. Good boys. Come back in here. Come on. Come back in here. Come with me. Come on. Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry for that. It's totally unedited. Okay, so as you can see, we have today's meeting included in here. If you're able to attend the IDERA Gig Sync, I'm giving a very good overview of Visual Studio, integrating PowerShell, and also building a small integration services task and how you can integrate your PowerShell in integration services.
In where?
Do you know what integration services is? SQL Server integration services?
No, I don't. I know very little about SQL Server.
All right. Well, SQL Server have these services where you can build packages, and packages, what they do is, for most of the cases, are ETL, extract, transformation, and load of data. So basically, most of the time, I end up building my own extra transformation and load using PowerShell. But then again, it's a script, right? So integration services allow you to build a package that you can schedule inside SQL Server for execution.
Okay.
Yeah, so I give you an example, but in this case, do you know that for developers, you can get the SQL Server, I would say almost any edition. The developer edition used to cost only $100. I think right now they're giving up for free. So you can have your own SQL databases, the full-blown application installed on your machine, so you can experiment, work with data tables, and do things.
Okay.
Yeah. So you build solutions. Like in this case, I already have a PowerShell script that does something, and I needed to schedule in a daily routine so that we can capture maybe information and put it on a single file or put it on a table, and that's the purpose of that.
Okay. Do you schedule through the task scheduler?
Totally different, but it's more enhanced and better.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have way to query, look for history of what's running and everything like that. It's a lot better. It's a very well built solution. Task scheduler doesn't give you much information. For me, it's better to use what they call SQL Server Agent.
Okay.
That's what runs the job, the SQL Server job, and that job could be anything, because it's that's why you use integration services to build a package. It could run a DOS command, it could run a PowerShell script, it could run a T-SQL script that does whatever on the SQL Server, move data, transform data. So it's very practical. It's very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. And of course, next month I'm going to be at the IT Pro Camp in Jacksonville, and after that I'll be in SQL Saturday, South Florida. It's going to have a SQL Saturday event. It's free, so if you can attend, I would guess the SQL Saturday is a very good event to attend. So a lot of people go there for information. If you want to learn a little bit more about SQL Server, this is the opportunity there, and it's free.
Yeah, I'm already registered.
All right. Okay, good. At the same time, I have a couple of blog articles that I'm building up, some progression on some things that I did, a transformation from a DOS bash file into a PowerShell script, and very, very essentials in here. And part of what we're going to talk today is about what are you going to do, what you can do with your script, like to trap errors, right? Because normally you run script and maybe you give an error and then you debug yourself and things like that, but maybe you want to do a little more documentation on that, right?
Yeah.
So let me just get started with this. So let's bring in my favorite editor, PowerShell editor, PowerShell Studio 2016, and let's start with something basic, right? Something basic, something as simple as let's do it at the command line, right? Let me bring that in there, and what we're going to do is first thing of very, very simple error, right? If I do dir for directory listing and then I do a C underscore C colon / and do max files, right? And then I do, okay, leave me a star, and when I press enter, okay, path doesn't exist. Doesn't matter if I type something, but okay, it doesn't exist, right? That's the first way of error that you will see, right?
Yeah.
Now, for most cases, so that you know, I could do something like this. Let me correct this thing in here, and I do / error action, and I would say, in this case, it doesn't matter. This is silently continue, but guess what? You can do - error tab variable. Okay, and then you put a name, a variable name. Doesn't start with a $, a variable name. You're going to put error bar. Right, that's any name. You can give any name, failure, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you press enter. Look what happened. It didn't give you an error, right?
Yeah.
Now, to expose what happened, you do $, err bar. And you see the error there.
Yeah.
So this is a way, what I'm trying to tell this commandlet is, okay, action on an error is silent. In other words, don't give me the red. Don't interrupt and continue. But by defining the error variable, by giving it a name, it stored that error in that variable, and you have access to it. So that's one way you can trap errors. Okay, but you can have a wrong commandlet error. I could put, I could go ahead and do. I can go ahead and do. Let me see. Go back. And maybe IR. I don't know if that exists, right? But let's give it a shot. Yeah. Okay, and it's an error, right? This one, you can't do nothing. It will leak because there's no AR, there's no parameter error action, there's no parameter for error variable. So that's a typo error, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, then to trap this type of error, you need to include a try catch, which I'm going to show later. Okay, we're going to show it in more advanced script that I have. But just to give you the hands-on on basic error, you type, boom, okay, folder doesn't exist, they give you an error, displayable. and then okay, I don't want to display the error, but I'm able to do a silent continue and save the error in a variable, and that's what we got here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's move to one of the scripts here. I'm gonna put this up. Now this is a more elaborate script that I built. Okay, and the purposes in this script will be, okay, I'm gonna test a folder for a file. I'm gonna test a path to a file. Make sure that it doesn't exist. If it exists, it's going to remove it. That's the first line of block here, right? Let me put this a little bit bigger, right? Okay, the first line of block does that. It queries the file exists. If it exists, remove it. The next, I'm creating a variable called exception code, and I'm setting it to null, so to clear it. If it previously exists, it will clear it. Now, the reason I use $global and the name of the variable is because sometimes when you build functions, the variable value gets dropped, gets what do you call it, clean, right? It get erased, it get disposed.
Yeah, because of the scope.
Exactly, it's because normally the variable will stay in its local scope, and when the function is gone or based on the area where you're using it, it will dispose itself, right? But in this case, I want to keep it. All right, so that's the purpose that I'm using this. Maybe in here it doesn't make any sense, but that's the purpose of me using the global piece. Okay. Then of course I'm going to do a get child item, which is commandlet for directory listing.
Yeah.
I'm only going to look for the files, and of course I'm going to use silent continue, error variable, putting a name, perfect, and that's going to run. Now the purpose of this is, if there's any error, I'm going to trap it. I'm going to trap the error first at the commandlet level, meaning like you can see here, error trap, and the if statement will make sure that if there's any value in that variable. I mean, by count, meaning either it's going to be 0 or it's going to contain a value, and a value could be a sentence. Is the error message is what it contains. Okay. If it's not equal to 0, meaning it's greater than is 1, then it's going to go ahead and give me, okay, the commandlet down is fail. And then of course it's going to continue down, the exception equal 1, and if it's equal 1, there's an error, meaning that, okay, now we're going to create the output file to save that information, and we're going to talk about this afterwards. The exit that I got here, I just commented out, so ignore it for now. Of course, if there's no exception code error, then what I'm going to do is, okay, going to create a file telling me, okay, this status of the script is successful. So this is the thing you can do, to trap and the status of your script. Okay. Here's the try catch. For every try, it needs a catch. Okay. That is mandatory. Finally is option. Finally means it's at the end. At the end of the try catch, or even if there's no try catch, it's supposed to do something. You can put the script code to do something. Okay. Yeah. And then again, but now for this example that I added in here, I'm supposed to have eliminate this, but anyway, for this example, it's useless because the finally only works when you're using for each instead of for each. Okay, so that's just like I put in here in the note. We'll break out a for each loop. When you have a straight script code like this, it's not a function; it's a script code. It will not work. Okay. Okay. But when when it doesn't work, then you can enable this option here, like exit, zero, exit, and this is just the exit code. It's the return code. You can force in PowerShell a code greater and other than 0, so that way you can trap. You can use it to trap if there's a failure or not. And this is one of the things you can use in integration services. Integration services know when the application successfully terminated, which means equals 0. Or when it's older than 0, it means this application failed, and then you can do a flow when it failed what to do. Okay.
Okay.
So this part of the exit code is only applicable when you have a flow where you can use that code to do something.
Okay.
Yeah. So now let's just run this sample here. Here I included a couple of things. It's commented out because of course we're gonna run this procedure here. Did I change anything? Make sure I change. Okay. Let me save this. We'll fix it. All right. So I commented out the ways you can run this. Okay. In PowerShell, you can do the dot sourcing, dot, and then the name of the script, right?
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is, let me open a console here, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna paste it. Supposed to be able to paste it. Come back here, right click, copy. There you go. You see, you dot source and the string showing the path and the name of the script you're gonna run, right? And then when I run it, it gave me results, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we follow the logic here, right? It run, and it says it count not equal 0. Well, guess what? It is 0. It is 0 because it didn't give any error when I run the script. Okay.
Yeah.
So what it did is I run the script, not equals 0, which means this error exception never happened. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna create me this file.
Yeah.
With this information, success. And for that, come in here, see the date time, 7:23 p.m. The script. And if I open the text that I just created, there it shows. See?
Yeah.
You can get very fancy with this, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you a more advanced script, okay? But this is just to give you a head start.
Yeah.
Okay. So with a basic identifying the condition, it was okay or not, you can then build a string, right? You can put date time. This is a very nice format. And you can change this. You can change this without the slashes. You can this is very useful formatting here. And then you can identify, okay, where to go, and you can get very fancy, maybe identifying a string, a variable with a computer folder name, and things like that. So you can get very fancy. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, this is the good one, right? Now, what happened if I go ahead and do this? I did a change the commandlet, and I save it, right? I'm gonna change get child. I deleted something there. Okay, but I save it, and I go back to my. Make sure that I copy this. And I'm gonna open another console. And I'm gonna run it. Okay, now there was an error. Okay, we removed the file. They removed the file. That piece of removing the file, what it does is it goes ahead and delete the file that I was working on. But then it gave me an error. Here it is. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's one. Okay, now. And that's happened. Now, if I do the again, it says exception error, fail, PowerShell task. I want to make sure that matches to my catch. This was trapped in the catch. Okay, it was trapped in the catch. So now I'm gonna fix this. Okay, let me do this. Item. And then I'm gonna do, oh wait a minute, I was in a hurry and I accidentally typed something wrong in the folder name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna save it. and I go back to my PowerShell. Let me scroll this one. I had a few here open, and then I'm gonna run it again. Something changed. You see?
Yeah.
Drop a different error. It says command-let get-child atom execution failed. Invalid script code. Something happened on that line. You know, as soon as you keep working with the script, you're still identifying what the possible errors you're gonna get. You can then you can isolate those, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so go back in here, and this one was trapped outside of the try-catch. You know, it's inside the try-catch, but the try-catch didn't give you the error. It didn't went down here to the catch area. You notice?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying this is because sometimes you say, oh, try-catch will catch any error. No. Okay? This case, it didn't trap that my folder name is wrong because it's just a string. Try-catch will only trap errors that happen at the commandlet, like syntax or something happened that interrupted the whole commandlet process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a wrong folder will not stop. Will give an error, but it's not critical. So the commandlet will complete its process except it error out. Okay, it's kind of hard to understand, but this is why, in this case, then I use the error variable piece with the error action in order to trap that error at the commandlet type, at the commandlet time. You know, when you execute, oh, there's an error in here. Okay, and then there is a. Let me see now. If I do something like this, let's drop this. I haven't tried this one. Let's see. Oh no, wait. Let's see if it outside of here. I do some kind of number. It just failed. Let's see where this one's gonna trap. So I'm gonna save it. I go back to the PowerShell here, and this one, just by the type of the error, the try-catch was able to, because it's trying, it doesn't know if it's a commandlet that's trying to run, so it gave an exception error.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give an exception error here, exception error at the task level. That means the catch worked at this time. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you notice that here we haven't even talked about the exit. Now the exit is what in DOS is known as the error level. When you open your DOS shell, you command shell, and you type something, there's an error that generates a code. And normally it's something different than 0. Okay. And in this case, for that, we need to run it as a batch.
Okay.
Okay. Because if you want to generate and trap an exit code, what is known as an exit code, the PowerShell script needs to run as a batch. Okay. Mm-hmm. In order to run as a batch, it's just a format. I put in single quote, but it's not really needed. You just need to type the whole path and up to where the batch file is. But in reality, this is the block code here that I'm highlighting right now. Is what you need to execute a DOS command to open the DOS command prompt, then run the batch. Check the exit level of that batch, and when it exits, it returns back to PowerShell, and then you can see the PowerShell last exit code from that at that time that it was run on the DOS. Okay, it's kind of weird, but it does work. It's great. The reason that I've done this is I was in a situation where I built a C# application to a C# application that is doing something, is grabbing some parameters and processing it, and I needed to get a return code So my flow in my SQL job will do something.
Okay.
Okay. And I build this, and I use, instead of using a C sharp, I end up doing a PowerShell script, and I ran it as an executable because, PowerShell Studio lets you build executable out of PowerShell script.
Mm-hmm.
And by passing parameter, is giving me a return code.
Oh, okay.
And so I was able to trap that return code out of my executable built in PowerShell, and then do something afterwards. I reuse that to, okay, either it's successful or not. So this series of command, this series of line, let me copy here. What it does is it goes to DOS, run the batch, exit from DOS, and give you the DOS error level, and then exit, and then we'll give you the PowerShell exit code. Let's run that. And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Okay, just hold for a moment. You ran a command and said command, and you ran the actual batch script.
Yep.
And then
yeah, this is.
And you get the exit code. Wow.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind. Remember what I told you. Finally, the exit code here, because I didn't force it. The script ran. DOS doesn't know if there's an error. It just ran. All right?
Yeah.
Inside PowerShell, oh yeah, there's some errors, but DOS doesn't know, okay, if it's an error or not. So the exit code here was 0. See?
Mm-hmm.
It's 0. But keep in mind, because I told you that this block of code only works inside a for each.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any for each in here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. This is useless. Now, if I do this, I enable my exit, and the command here, the command is exit and a number. So if everything is okay, you return 0. If everything is not okay, you can do whatever. It could be a 19, it could be anything other than 0.
Yeah.
And then what I'm doing here, I'm trapping at the try catch level, and if the catch found an error, it's going to be greater than 0.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the code that within the error of the command of that code of block, there's something that happened there, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to erase this one because I wanted to show the other one. Okay, then it's going to do the same thing. I'm gonna make sure that either it's going to be other than 0 or 0 if it's successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna run this again. Let me make sure that let me highlight that one again. I don't want to make any mistake in here. So let's highlight this just to make sure. Copy. Let me clear the screen. Right click. And look at that.
Uh-huh.
Echo error level is the display of the return code after the application is run on the DOS is 99.
Yeah.
When exit, now PowerShell know, okay, my last exit code is 99. Now you can reuse that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, so this is a matter of fact, I'm using this in a very high level right now application. I just try to build up the interest in exit codes, Okay, so now this is the beginning part. This is reusable. This block of code is reusable. Well, now a little more elaborate one would be like something like this. And as a matter of fact, I don't need this piece in here. I'm gonna remove this one from here. I don't need this. God. Okay. Let me save that piece aside here. Yeah, but already covered some of that before. I'm polishing. This is material building for Idera, so this is going to be fine-tuned more. So here we have a more elaborate application, right? Maybe for the same purpose. If the file exists, delete. You know, then I'm building an array of servers. Laptop exists. This one does not exist, and this one exists. But of course, through the process in the for each, it's gonna bum out because either everything's gonna work or if it's not gonna work, it's gonna bum out. Here I'm checking for each of the server. I'm checking the connection to it. And then here I'm doing some mappings, creating some network map, just for the fun of it, for each of the location of the server, which is not gonna only one gonna exist and the other's not, so there's gonna be a lot of errors going on in here, right? And then of course this is my connectivity to SQL Server, and the other purpose is to display the number of tables, which might happen, might not happen. I just want to trap errors, and when it trap errors, this is when it's gonna build me the file with a little more information. This is something you can do. You see, you can trap the error, invocation error. All this gives you so much material, so much information. You can keep it simple, or you can document. You know. This is one way to do it. And in this case, this finally, what it does is will end up giving you setting those exit code, and if everything goes as I plan, at the same time before exiting, then it's gonna open with Notepad. It's gonna open that text file. Okay. I don't think I need this part in here, so I'm gonna remove it. I'm already doing it up there. And we'll see. Okay, so let's run this puppy. Okay. With for each, and same, you know, I do the same thing in here. I'm gonna run it with the from PowerShell first. Here we go with PowerShell. Error, boom. See that? Now here you have more elaborate information, which when you when in my case I'm working with integration services. I build a workflow that runs something, and if something fail, then I'm routing this document to be sent via email to give you an idea how this thing, how you can use this. Okay. Matter of fact, give you an idea. This is an example of a integration services package. See? Delete all files in the folder. We run my PowerShell script. If it fails, we'll send an email with a document with the error, or it's gonna send an email telling me that everything was successful. This is the essential of what you can do with package. Okay. So I give you a heads up in there on that one. That's the purpose of this particular, you know, of how this can end. Okay. All right. So I go back out. Okay, and of course, you know, here I'm using the write verbose because sometimes it's better to use it than the regular write host, because when you automate stuff and put in a scheduled job, you don't use write host. You know, you use write verbose. It's better for it. And the best way to do it is when you do here, write verbose, whatever string, and then the parameter verbose, and that will do, you know, will display the information while you run it. Okay. Now, so that document that I opened just identify that it ran through the cache. See, it did all this part. It did all this part. Okay. If I go back to here and then I do $, last exit code is 99.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah.
So, okay, so now if I want to fix this, I'm gonna do this. Let me complete this here. Only one. I'm gonna put it's like this. Okay. Server, no errors. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna give what the result is gonna give me here. This time I'm gonna run it at the DOS command. I'm gonna run this block of code here. Okay, and there's just some error. This instance I'm Trinidad and this connection unknown. Okay, and it still gave me an error. The purpose of the script is to give an error.
Yeah.
And just make sure that. Okay, and there you go. Even if we ran it as a PowerShell script, it still create the exit code. We run it on the DOS as a bash file, and they create both the error level and the exit code.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a very good, and of course they go finally. You see that that's the before. Remember that it didn't work because it was out of a for each.
Uh-huh.
In this case, it went ahead and opened the document, and then it went and exit with a 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's now let's see something here. Finally, yep. So that's one thing, and of course you just go ahead and you got to make sure that when you build a script, that you test everything to the point of if this error happened, how I'm gonna trap it. Either it's gonna ignore it but I have to do something with it.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to to at least document what you do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Any resource I check in a computer or a directory or a file, I always check it first before I even try to access it.
Yeah.
To me, if it is not there, and it's the computer's doing the speed. It's not like I'm doing any work.
Yeah.
I always test it before I even touch it, because that way, if it's not there, I can skip the whole thing and finish with an error.
Yeah. No, man. Let me tell you, it is very practical. It is very practical. Of course, and then just like a bonus here. Sometime here I have on this script here I go directly to let me go ahead and remove one particular item, right? Maybe this will work if I put everything that's in there, which I never try. You know what? Let me try that. Go here, go in here, and then what I'm gonna do is it should work, but I just want to make sure if it doesn't, because I got the .NET way to do it, and I have the okay. There's two type of output that I created there, and I want to clean them up, right? So if I do this, it should be able to clean them up.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Yeah, but it says other than that, there's .NET have a way to do it, and it might be a two-liner, but in the days before the remove item, or it's just this is very nice that you can use .NET, and this will do the same thing.
Yeah.
But then again, thanks for the commandlets. There's no need to.
Yes.
There is no need to. Yeah. So this can change to be only instead of one single file, just erase everything, and I won't even need the if when you're sure that anything that is on that folder can be cleaned up. Yeah. So all All right, man. But you know what? I think I've caught up with you. Any questions you have on this?
Nope. Nope.
Have you ever used the try catch before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Because what I do is I learn by downloading scripts,
Yes.
and most of them have the try catch in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm learning C# now, so I'm like, I see the same thing there. I was like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's for you. Maybe you started with PowerShell, and now that you're learning C#, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I've done this before.
Yes, a lot of things are similar.
Exactly. So it go reverse. It's supposed to be, who have been. You see the similarity between PowerShell and C# is a lot, And a matter of fact, let me go back to the solution I was in here. Now you talk about C#, and let me look for a particular this one here. This is what I call Visual Studio Tools for Application. This is the scripting part of .NET using C# or VBA language, VB language.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm opening a script task editor, which everything is in there is either is VB or C#.
Mm-hmm.
And let's wait a minute here for it to come up. It takes a little bit. In this case, it's using C# 2012. In this particular task, I am consuming a PowerShell script, and basically this is how I read a script that I've created that is perfectly running somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
Here, I use the path, and this is script name, and then all this, just get it ready for. I'm trapping the error. I'm trapping the error message. If the try catch didn't trap the error, I'm trapping the commandlet error action.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not trapping the actual error message, but it knows that it has an error.
Okay.
And then that helped me, like you see the pipe error. Then I can, in my DTS, which is the package, one of the package, I would call it code to identify the result. It will keep track of the result is successful or not. Then I'm forcing, okay, is failure because already it knows there's an error, and then what I'm doing with it. And this is a way to, I'm building the file with information, or if not, it's successful. But if they try catch an exception, then I'm handling it a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, this is part I'm going to be talking next week on tools for application.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is you said the IDERA, right? The DBA administrator?
Yeah.
Where exactly?
Yeah, Gig Sync. Keep in mind, for VBA administrator, for DBA administrator, it's just because I'm just giving them the way to use PowerShell in different, using these tools. And the DBA could build a lot of integration services package.
Uh-huh.
And Visual Studio is very powerful. That you can build all this thing, and then you can integrate technology with it. In this case, PowerShell.
Yeah.
At the same time, when I close here, I close my code because I already got PowerShell tools installed in here. Like I'm gonna create a new project solution. Open. Okay, new project, and in this list of projects, I have PowerShell.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Yeah, you showed me up in when I was in.
Exactly. So
PC Professor. Yeah.
Showing the DBA that you can integrate your solutions, specifically your integration service solution put your scripts in here, and this can be saved. Remember, I mentioned before, GitHub or Team Foundation server, and you have your repository for source control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll be talking about this next week.
Oh, nice.
All right, man. Well, I mean, this is it was good. I hope you find it a little more interesting. I mean, you said you have done a little bit of work with this. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You
And not as elaborate as this, but I have done some.
yeah, but at least it's opened a little bit your eyes. What you can do. It's so flexible sometimes. It's just like already. It's you're building a puzzle.
Yes.
Yeah, you're building a puzzle. So, okay, all right, man. Do you have any more questions or?
That's about it.
All right, man. Well, then I think this could be a wrap.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So for next meeting, I already have. I'm doing some projects with my integration services, and might end up doing a Azure solution to push data into a SQL Azure database.
Whoa, I love that.
So I have the classic way of doing it. So I'm probably gonna end up concentrating on that. And so for next meeting in June, I'm gonna build some material for that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Alrighty, man. Well, look, Ramesh, I appreciate you attending, and don't be a stranger, man. You can email me and everything, and we'll keep in touch.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks again for the.
All right, man. No, thanks to you. Have a good night. Okay.
Okay, I'll talk later. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.